TikTok still coming up. I get a lot of direct messages from TikTok audience asking different questions, and most of the time, majority of the question I get to have to answer on TikTok is most of the time around getting buyers. Most of the time around getting buyers. And like I said before, challenge of getting buyer is a sign of a deeper problem. And that's one of the things we try to address at this program. So people ask questions like, I have charcoal, I have product ABC. Someone even say I have a processed agro product, different types. And how do I get buyers? That is what this program is all about. We are discussing exactly what do you need to do to be able to find buyers. What do you need to do to be able to gain buyers? So last week we stopped at discussing platforms. We discussed the prospect, we discussed the preparation, we discussed the purchasers, we discussed the by partition, I mean the obstacles, the hindrances, the challenges, the obstacles, the hindrances, the challenges that hinder many from being able to get buyer. And that's what we'll be looking at today. So what are the obstacles and how do we overcome those obstacles, hindrances? It's very important we understand. It's very important you understand what the obstacles and hindrances are that prevent people from getting buyers abroad. This is export discourse, so it's not supposed to be a one-way conversation. If you have any question regarding export business, please feel free to drop your question. You have any question regarding export business, feel free to drop your question. I'll be very much happy to answer your questions. Either on TikTok, Facebook, on YouTube, please feel free to drop your question. So I was talking about the issue around partition. And by partition, I mean hindrances that stop many from being able to get buyers. So what are some of those things? Because that's actually what we are trying to solve by putting together the Eureka Pack. Having identified the product to be exported, the export and the export market with tremendous demand, together with the potential buyer of the product in the export market, the next step is to identify how to overcome the barriers. The barrier of overcoming the challenge of promotion. You have to overcome the challenge of promotion. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. The challenge of promotion is a big challenge. But the challenge is not insurmountable. It's not insurmountable. As a matter of fact, majority of challenges that people face in trying to do export can be overcome. The challenge more often than not is knowledge gap. And sincerely, that's why we put together Eureka Pack to make it easier for you to be able to solve that problem. So there's a challenge of marketing, that's looking for buyer. The barrier, the book or the pack examine the specific of the restriction that prevent promotion in export market. And then we recommended internet tools that you can deploy to overcome those challenges. We recommend the internet tools that can be deployed to overcome those challenges. Now, to be able to overcome those barriers, number one is knowledge. Of course, number two is funding. Because as I move on to the sixth step, which is platforms, I'll be looking at funding. So, to be able to get buyer, you must decide on platform. Isiaka Ibrahim, how do I get a buyer? That's exactly what we are talking about. That's exactly what we are talking about. And you can always ask your question. That's on YouTube. You can always ask questions regarding this. That's exactly what you're talking about. How to get buyers abroad. That's exactly what we're talking about. How to get buyers abroad. So, Isiaka, just listing what you can also do. We started this conversation last week, so you can actually go back and check on our Facebook page or YouTube channel the previous edition of this program. You will be able to see the video for the previous conversation we had. You'll be able to see the video and you can go through it so you can know where we are right now. There are different platforms that can be explored when you are trying to get buyers. Some are online, some are offline. The online platform include LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We also have some other online platforms. They are actually B2B platforms. B2B platforms. B2B platform online. There's another online platform, and that is database organization. Database organization. Database organization, what they do for you basically is to help you. What they do for you basically is to help you with contact details of those that need your product or service in the export market. Contact details of those that need your product or service in the export market. What is the product or service you are selling? What is the product or service you are selling? They are the one that can help you in the export market. So for example, if I'm trying to get a market in the US, there are database companies in the US that I can actually reach out to that can help me with importer of a particular product or a particular item in the US market. In the US market. The offline option is international trade shows, international trade fairs. There is an international trade fair happening this year in Egypt for African market. There is one happening in the US. There is one happening in the US. So you must identify which platform am I trying to explore? If I'm looking for buyers, I must identify the platform I want to use. Remember, this is expert discourse. So if you have question, please make it interactive on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Kindly drop your question on the chat box. Drop your question on the chat box so I'll be able to address it. Now, beyond having a platform, you also need partners. Beyond having a platform, you also need partners. You need partners in the export market. Beyond having a platform, you also need partners in the export market. Beyond having a platform, you also need partners in the export market. You need partners in the export market because you need them to be able to grow your business and increase. To grow your business and increase. The opportunities for expansion. Someone said, do you refer to US? Yes, US Fidelity Trade Fair. Very correct. Very correct. Very correct. Very correct. The US Fidelity Trade Fair. Very correct. There are a number of them. I'm just talking about the two that the one in Egypt is AFCFTA. The one in the US is organized by Fidelity. It's organized by Fidelity. So, platforms. And I say you need partners. For you to do a successful and sustainable export, you definitely need partners. Partners are individual businesses who live in the export market and serve the interest. Who live in the export market and serve the interest of the exporter. They are in the export market to assist exporter with marketing through actual sales activity. Rendering after-sales service, gathering market intelligence, giving feedback to the exporter on what is happening in the export market. You definitely need a partner abroad. I cannot overemphasize that. You want to grow, you want to do export business, you definitely need a partner abroad. There is just no two way to it. You need a partner abroad. Why do you need a partner abroad? The partner abroad basically helps you. The partner abroad basically helps you to be able to overcome the challenges that you will have faced if you don't have them on ground. Now, I will move on to start discussing the protocol in finding buyers. The protocol in finding buyers. If you are trying to explore the opportunity to be able to get buyer using various platforms online, someone is asking a question. Ralph said, I based in Port Harcourt. Please, what is the best port to use for exports to reduce cost of logistics? Wow. Ralph, what are you trying to export? Let me know what you're trying to export and the destination. Ralph, let me know what you're trying to export and the destination. Ralph Oyebushi, drop for me what you are trying to export and the destination you are trying to export to. Drop for me what you are trying to export and the destination you are trying to export to. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. For those on TikTok, those on YouTube, please feel free to drop your question. Stay you lead media. Can you hear me? I saw you are writing volume. Is my volume very low? I'm actually monitoring on YouTube with a device and I can hear myself. Stay Yuli Media, Adeshew and Isiaka. Please confirm you can hear me very well on YouTube. Isiaka, Adeshew, can you confirm you can hear me very well on YouTube? I'll wait for your message. Confirm you can hear me on YouTube. Let me check. Okay, Sheun said the volume is okay on YouTube. Very good. So let me start by saying, I'm talking about protocol today, and I will use A to Z. A, avoid prospecting for buyer before your export readiness evaluation. Avoid prospecting for buyer before your export readiness evaluation. It's important you understand you need to evaluate yourself. Number one. Number two, don't just evaluate yourself, also confirm. Don't just evaluate yourself, also confirm that you have been able to mitigate those areas of export readiness gap. What are the area of readiness? The promoter needs to be ready. That's the owner of the business in terms of knowledge. The promoter needs to be ready. The product needs to be ready. That means you need to have a product. Number one, you must be ready in terms of willingness and ability. In terms of willingness and ability. Willingness to export and ability to export. Willingness to export has to do with desire. Ability to export has to do with funding. The promoter needs to be ready. Number two, who else needs to be ready? The product needs to be ready. The product needs to be ready. The product needs to be ready. That means I must have a product I want to export. Don't say you want to go into export business without having a product. You must have a product you want to export. Oyebuchi said the product is palm oil and is exporting to Saudi and Canada. Oyebuchi, I would recommend you export from Port or airport. Don't come to Lagos. The Lagos port now is an eyesore. I would rather you go through on airport. Please don't come to Lagos. Someone said, how do I get a representative in Australia? Fantastic question. To get representative, the easiest way is to look for fellow compatriots in that country. Look for Nigerians in that country. Look for Nigeria. If you can't get a friends and relative, look for Nigeria that are doing business. If you are able to get one or two people in Australia, you'll be able to. Look for Nigerians that are doing business in that country. You can check out maybe on LinkedIn, on Facebook, but you can always get Nigerians in that country. Or you get a law firm. Get a law firm that can represent you in that country. I hope I've answered your question, Muiwa. Okay, like I was saying, I was talking about I've talked about A. Avoid searching for buyer abroad before you do your export readiness evaluation. And I said, being ready means the promoter is ready, the product is ready. That means you have a product. You have a product. The product is available. Either you are procuring or you are producing. The product is of good quality. The next is the pricing. You need to also evaluate the pricing of the product. This product you want to export, is the pricing right? Is the pricing good? Pricing. Number 3, predisposition of staff. If you have staff, you need your staff to be reorientated about export. If you don't have a staff, then that will be you. Purpose. Why are you doing it? I tell people, don't do export solely for the purpose of making profit. You will be profitable, no doubt, but you might not be profitable at the beginning. If, particularly when you don't have someone working with you and guiding you, you might not be profitable at the beginning, because you might make some mistake, unnecessary costs. But if you have a mentor working with you, you can minimize those errors significantly. But you must have a purpose to build a global brand, to generate foreign exchange. There must be other reasons beyond making money. Because you can make same money in Nigeria without selling abroad. Someone say, I can hear you well. Okay. Someone say, I wrote it a while ago when the volume. Okay. All right. So then, promotion. You must be ready to promote. That means you need to incur cost. Now, in promoting, you might need to pay a representative who will be promoting and helping you get buyer. You might need to pay a database company to buy import-export data. You might need to pay YouTube and Facebook and Instagram to advertise, but you must be ready to promote. You need to be ready to promotion. For those just joining us, we are discussing how to find buyer abroad. For those just joining us, we are discussing how to find buyer abroad. How to find buyer abroad. And I said this is because on my DM on TikTok, I get a lot of messages of people asking me questions. How do I get buyer? 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 So it seems as if getting buyer is a major challenge. So we are discussing it now. How do I get buyer abroad? Then another area of readiness, I'm still discussing A under protocol to getting buyer abroad. And the A is avoid looking for buyer until you have done an export readiness evaluation. And I'm looking at all the areas of readiness assessment you need. The next one is proficiency, skill. Proficiency, skill. Proficiency, skill. Proficiency, skill. This is where you need to go and learn. Attend a seminar. Attend a training program. Get someone to show you how it works. Proficiency. I must say at this point that export is knowledge intensive. Not just export. International trade generally is knowledge intensive. International trade generally is knowledge intensive. International trade generally is knowledge intensive. What that means is that I need to ensure that I acquire all the knowledge I need in order to be able to achieve my objective. Acquire all the knowledge I need to be able to achieve my objective. Proficiency. Another area of readiness, production. Production capacity. Production capacity. Can I produce reasonably? If I'm into production, can I meet both local and export market demand? Can I meet both local and export market demand? Can I meet both local and export market demand? Can I meet both local and export market demand? If I'm not into production, then whoever I'm buying from, is it big enough to be able to accommodate additional volume I need? Can it accommodate additional volume I need? I'm still waiting for other questions on Facebook. Remember, this is Export Discourse. So while I'm talking, feel free to ask your questions. The essence of this weekly conversation is to be able to answer your questions. So even though I try to talk about an area, is to be able to answer your question. So those sending me DM on TikTok, this is a time to answer your question. Production capacity. Another area of readiness, payment. 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 Being able to get paid on time. You know, I was talking to one of the rep we work with in the US this afternoon, and he was telling me about the fact that he now has a financial institution that can ensure that our clients are paid within 1 or 2 weeks after shipment. So you won't have to wait for the good to arrive in the US before you are paid, which makes a lot of sense because that reduce your cash conversion cycle and make you to be able to do more tranches in a year. To be able to do more tranches in a year. Being able to get paid and being able to raise funding. Being able to get paid and being able to raise funding. Payment. Another area of readiness is positioning. The product I'm trying to export, do people currently buy it abroad? Do people currently demand for it? Is there interest already even before I start? People, I need to have a good understanding of the people in the export market. What they buy, how they buy, when they buy, the mindset they have in general. The paperwork, that's the documentation and regulation in the export market. I need to understand what are the documents that are required to clear the good in the export market. What are the documents that are required to clear the goods in the export market? Documentation. Documentation. Paperwork. Understanding it is an evidence of readiness. Remember, we are discussing how to find buyer, and we are talking about protocol to finding buyer. And one of the protocols says, until you are ready, do not start. And I'm telling you the area of readiness. Potential. The item in question, is there a demand? Is there a demand? Before you start wasting your energy and time to promote it, is there a demand for it in the export market? Is there a demand for it in the export market? Is there a demand for it in the export market? Someone said, thanks for this educative and enlightening session. I always enjoy it. Okay. Then he said, someone said, palm oil. Yes, Raf, I've answered your question. I said you should ship the goods through Port Harcourt. That's Raf on Facebook. You should ship the goods through Port Harcourt. Don't ship it through Lagos. Currently, there is a delay at the port. If you are shipping in Lagos, you have to go through the waterways. You have to go through from Ikorodu or from Mile 2. You have to go through the waterways. Then, potential. Then partnership. 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 You need a partner. I've advocated several times, and I'll keep advocating the need for you to know that you need a partner in the export market. You need a partner in the export market. Any business that have been able to scale in export, they have representative abroad. If you do not have representative abroad, it cannot scale. It can't scale. It can't scale. Because you need multiple buyers, which a rep can make happen for you. Purchasers. Another area of readiness is that you have purchasers. Or you are able to get purchasers. You know exactly what you need to do to get purchasers in the export market. So let me move on now to B. A. Avoid prospecting for buyers before you are ready for export. B. Build a business profile in different online platforms. Build a business profile in different online platforms. There's another question. The question says, this on Facebook. There's a question on Facebook. It says that, How can an exporter benefit from CBN unification of FX windows? Is this investor exporter window going to be an advantage to an exporter in Nigeria? Very correct. The answer is big yes. The answer is big yes. Unification of exchange rate is what we have been clamoring for since 2017-18. We have been talking to CBN governor to do something about it, but the man was not going to listen to us. The man thinks that, in fact, at some point he said, if your export business is not profitable, go and do something else. Can you imagine? That's a CBN governor talking to his citizen. But today is no more there. And that's a big lesson, actually. Big lesson. But it's a good advantage. So the exchange rate, the more naira get depreciated, good news for exporter, bad news for importer. As naira get depreciated, good news for exporter, bad news for importer. Good news for exporter, bad news for importer. When I hear that the dollar is 800, that's good news for exporter. That means you make more profit. I was talking to someone this afternoon who is schooling abroad, and he was saying this rate is still in the UK. Pounds, he used to get pounds from CB at 500 and something. Now he's going to get pounds at 900 and something, almost 100% increase. And he was complaining bitterly. Why? Because to get pounds, he needs to go to private market or any window, and it's expensive. It's unwise in Nigeria to earn in naira and spend in dollar. A number of people with their spouses abroad, that's exactly what happened. I have a friend that have resigned from his banking job and relocated to go and meet the wife in the UK. Why? He's earning naira, he's spending pounds. The money they are paying nanny is almost equal to his monthly salary when you convert the pounds equivalent to naira. Because if you are paying I think about 100 pounds per day or something like that, 5 days, 2 weeks, that's in a month, 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds is almost, convert to naira, is almost equal to his salary in Nigeria. So why he will go and do the babysitting himself? So he decided to pick up a master program and babysit. Because the wife is working, Now, the idea is this. You cannot be earning naira and spending in foreign exchange. It doesn't make sense. So export make that possible. You can be able to earn in naira. You can be able to earn in dollar and spend in dollars, or earn in pounds and spend in pounds, because of the fact that there is foreign exchange available. Because you are generating and earning foreign exchange. That is the benefit of being an exporter. So if you know those that are complaining about FS issue, tell them to go and be exporting and convert their naira to dollar or to pounds or to euro. And funny enough, some people actually kept their money in dollars, and the money has appreciated now because some people just keep their money in dollar. Let's continue. Build profile across different online platforms. For those just joining us on TikTok, we are discussing how to find buyer abroad. And I'll be posting some video. I've done short video. I'll be posting maybe from next week, how to find buyer abroad. How to find buyer abroad seems to be a challenge. So what we've decided to do is to keep discussing every week different ways, different options, different strategies that you can use to find buyer abroad. So you know that the real issue is not buyers. Being ready for export, we find buyers. Those on YouTube, so sorry, a call was trying to come in. I'm sure you can hear me now. Okay, those on YouTube, you're able to hear me now. A call was coming in and disrupted the class. I had to cut the call. You know, it's so important, very, very important, for you to have a good understanding of how to find buyers. Build a profile. When you contact a buyer, the first thing they will do is to go and check your website, or to go and check your what's the name? Your, not just your website, your Instagram handle or Facebook page. Why? They want to see if there's notice you have been posting in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, different things, educating things about your product, you're already sensitizing them. They know that, okay, this business is even if you are not the one producing, but you already know you want to start selling this product, and you're already educating them. Someone said, please, what other document can an exporter get from his buyer apart from LC to facilitate exportation? Stay Uli Media. What do you want to achieve? What do you want that document to do for you? The word facilitate is not clear. I don't want to preempt you. Do you mean alternative to letter of credit? Do you mean alternative to letter of credit? Stay Uli Media. Can you confirm that? Do you mean alternative to letter of credit? Is that what you're saying? To assess credit, demand guarantee, standby letter of credit. Demand guarantee, standby letter of credit. You can read them up. You can read them up online. You can read them up online. Demand guarantee and standby letter of credit. They are called trade finance instrument. They are called trade finance instrument. Demand guarantee and standby letter of credit. Demand guarantee and standby letter of credit. Is that okay? All right. All right. So I will stop here today. I stop at building profile. Next week we are going to start from C. Thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this today. I believe we are creating a lot of awareness. The number is increasing on YouTube in particular. We are still trying to get more people to join on TikTok. On Facebook, we already have community growing on Facebook. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to join today. We'll continue again next week. And remember, our focus now is on how to find buyers. How to find buyers. How to find buyers. See you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you very much.